Hello everyone, I Dr. Mohammad Zubair Ahmed. I teach political science in the Department of Political Science, Janaki Devi Memorial College, University of Delhi. So today I'm recording a lecture on inclusion through accessibility technology of visually impaired persons. So in today's lecture, what I am going to do is I am going to show various aids that are used by visually challenged persons to make their life a better one and an inclusive one. So some of it I am going to show today, and there are many more to explore. So the first thing that I want to show to you all, which is very basic, is a slate. This is called a braille slate, and this is stylus. So this is used for writing purpose. It has a nail kind of a thing in front, and then it is held like this. And then this slate opens like this. So as you can see, there are so many boxes in this slate. So each box contains 6 dots, 3 on the right and 3 on the left. So based on those dots, coding is done and letters are written. For instance, A means 1, B 1 2, C 1 4, like that. So how it is done, like the slate opens like this, and we put a paper in this. This paper is drawing sheet. Usually for drawing, little thick sheet is used, right? So that thick sheet is used for writing purpose as well. So it is kept like this, and then while writing, braille, it is written from the right to left. For instance, if I am writing my name is Zubair, right? So I am writing Zubair. So I have written from here to here. Now, when I take out this paper, the embossing has gone on the other side, niche. So I turn the paper like this, downside, right? So I have turned like this, and while reading, I read from this side. For example, my name, Zubair, I am reading from this side, right? So this is what it is done, and this is the script that is used by all the visually challenged across the world. Any language with the help of these 6 dots can be written. So this is what is braille. And then you have a watch, which can be called, this is a simple Titan watch. It is also a braille watch. Okay, so same watch as we all use, but the thing is that the difference is this watch opens, its lid opens like this. The lid opens like this, and then with the help of a touch, you can feel it and understand the time. For example, there is a small needle over here and the big needle over here. So the positioning of the needles tells you what time is it now. Right? For example, on 12 you have 4 dots, on 1 you have 1 dot, 2 1 dot, and 3 2 dots. Then similarly, like on 6 you have 2 dots, 9 you have 2 dots. So based on the positioning of these dots, you can see the time. So this is a braille watch, which is made by the Titan. It is available everywhere. So this is one easy way through which the inclusion takes place. And then these days, thankfully, the Election Commission has also started paying attention to the needs of the visually impaired persons. For instance, they have an EVM wherein it is fitted with braille signage, and they are also issuing the voter ID cards with braille. For instance, I have a voter ID card with me. On the front and on the back, my name, my details are written, and which booth I belong to, and so on and so forth is written in braille as well. So this is one very interesting thing that I have got recently, so I wanted to show. So it's very easy to make the things accessible, provided one thinks little with concern and care, right? So now I know, for example, the moment I touch, I know whose ID card is this and what is my number. Many a times it happens that we have to code this number at various places, so it is very helpful in that way. And then I have another thing called signature guide. So as you can see, this is just a metal thing wherein you have a space. So it happens because visually challenged can't see, so people tend to stray away from the space where you are supposed to sign, right? So signing is one very, very important thing which we all do. So this is placed in a proper place, and then signing is done with the pen, so that I don't stray from one line to other line, and I don't sign on others, because there will be signing of others, and text will also be there, right? So to avoid that, this particular frame is used, so that I know what are the boundaries. Similarly, the visually challenged would be able to know what are the boundaries under which they have to sign. So this is one very interesting thing that visually challenged keep using. And then I want to show you a mobile. This is a normal mobile. It's a normal iPhone that we all use. Similarly, Android phones also. So in iPhone, you have something called voiceover, and then in Android, you have talkback. So this is particular thing that is used for speech purpose. So generally speaking, the persons who can see, they see the screen and do the gestures, right? But when it comes to the visually impaired, they can't see, so they can hear and do the gestures. So same work is done with the help of voice over, right? So every phone has this facility. We need not install any new software as such. So through gestures, you can use. So I, in this particular phone, use WhatsApp, I use Twitter, I use YouTube, I read a whole lot of newspapers, and there are so many accessible apps also in this phone, which makes our reading, writing, and even scene viewing. For example, there is an app through which, if I want to know what is there around me, just I can open the camera and see that it will explain me the scene preview. If I want to read the labels, I can read with the labels. So some other day, probably I'll record a video regarding the various apps that are used by the visually challenged to make their life possible, right, and accessible on par with other people. Okay, so this is one thing that I use this for extensive purpose, like as every one of you use it for reading, for communicating, for checking your mail, sending your mails, and all that stuff, right? So everything what you do as a person with vision, even a person without a vision can also do so. So this is one thing that I wanted to show to you people and explain. And then there is something called Orbit Reader. This is another technological device. As just now you have seen that Braille, right? So Braille is written with the hand on a paper, but this is an electronic device which has 6 buttons. Right? As I said, Braille is written with 6 dots, so you have 6 buttons: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. And then you have various, the keys over here for settings purpose and all. And then you have, these are called panning keys, so line keep changing, and 20 cells, means 20 letters can be written in this. So the moment I touch upon, the dots appears over here. For instance, I don't know whether you are able to see in the camera or not. There are dots that are appearing over here. So in this one, I have uploaded a few books and magazines. So many times it happens that we don't feel like listening to. We want to read. So this helps. And another thing is that when we read, we understand the punctuation, spellings, everything, right? And we do it quietly, and you have a certain experience right? Instead of listening, you read. So you get an opportunity to read with the help of this device. And this device can be used for writing purpose also, as it has 6 dots. So how it is done? Like for example, you see here there is a memory card. You insert the memory card in your laptop or your phone, wherever it is, and load the material in this, and then connect the material over here, and it runs on a battery. So this is called Orbit Reader 20 cell, because it is 20 cell orbit. That's the reason it's called Orbit Reader. So it is quite a useful thing. For instance, if I have to teach political theory and quote some quotations, so if I have this device, I can simply run my hand on this and keep quoting, because many a times it happens that we need to quote the text. For example, if someone is teaching poetry, so poetry line by line, it has to be quoted to explain, right? So this device is of utmost importance for persons with visual impairments, and some people even have multiple disabilities, right? They have hearing problem also, so they won't be able to hear the devices. Like for example, I have shown you the phone, they can't hear that, so they can use it. And this device is helpful in other way also, because it has Bluetooth that you can connect with the phone or laptop, and whatever comes on the screen on the laptop or on the phone, that you can read in braille in this particular device. So any language that is there in the world can be written with the help of these 6 dots. As I've told you, the braille slate we can write, so as you can write with this device as well. Then I wanted to show you something else also. Like, we are all obsessed with cricket in India, right? So as even visually impaired persons are also obsessed with cricket. First World Cup was held in 1998 in India, and so far 5 World Cups have been held, and India is doing remarkably well in blind cricket, as it does in the mainstream cricket as well, right? So how it is played? It is played with a ball which is hard plastic. In this there are iron bearings are there, iron balls are there, small balls, and it makes sounds like this. So what is the difference between the normal cricket and the blind cricket? The blind cricket or visually impaired people cricket is that the ball is bowled underarm, underarm, whereas the cricket that is played, you throw the ball on from the shoulder side, right? So it is bowled underarm. That is one difference. And second difference is that the ball has to pitch after the popping grease or middle grease, right? Middle pitch, right? After that it has to pitch. Otherwise, if it pitches before the middle, then it is called as a dead ball or a no ball, right? But whereas when it comes to the blind cricket, it has to pitch before, not after. So that is the difference. And rest of the rules are all same. A blind cricket team consists of 11 members, wherein there will be totally blind 4 people, 4 players, and there will be 3 who will be partially blind, little vision they have, and there will be 4 who will be having little more vision. So that is again a configuration when all the players are not totally blind in it. So this is a ball that is used for playing the cricket. It makes sound like this, right? So this is one. And then you have a chess board, right? So chessboard, as you can see, this is a normal chess. This is a chessboard which is modified again. Like for example, you have 64 squares. This is a box. So if I open it, will spread like this. 64 this side, and this side it has the squares. So 64 squares as normal chessboard has, and the difference is that you have something called black and white, right? Boxes. So you can see that there is a contrast over here also. The boxes, there are few boxes which are little bit higher side as I don't know whether you are able to see on the camera or not, and there are boxes which are on the lower side. So 32 boxes on the higher side and 32 boxes on the lower side. Okay, so that is the difference. So that I mean, persons with visual impairedness come to know which square he is in. Is he in the black square or in the white square? So the contrast he has to know, right? So so it is modified like that. And then you have the coins, same like other I mean, normal chessboard, as it has the same coins. Like for example, if you have this is a black queen, okay, or a minister, whatever you may call. So it doesn't have a dot on top. So that's why I am able to tell you that this is black. Okay, but whereas when it comes to the white one, you have a dot over top. Okay, so this is the distinction. For you, color is the distinction. For us, for visually impaired, the dot that is there on the top, that is the distinction. And another thing is that you see, and visually impaired, just feel it, the shape. So every coin is different, right? Every coin is different, and you feel the shape, and then you come to know. And the third aspect, which is very, very essential, is that it has a leg. Niche. Every coin has a leg. Okay, and this is very essential, because visually impaired persons touch and feel it, and then they know the position, right? So here, as you can see, there are holes. In this hole, it is inserted like this, and it stands. So when a visually impaired person touches this, it will not trip, right? Tripping has to be avoided. So to avoid the tripping, you have a leg. So it is inserted like this, right? So this is the thing, and rest of the rules of chess are same. So you have a lot of people playing chess in India and worldwide, and there are even grandmasters who play chess. Okay, with the help of the computer also they play, and with the help of the normal board also they play. So this is one thing that I wanted to show you. And then there is a laptop, right? For example, computer technology is very, very essential for all of us, right? And more so in the lives of visually impaired, because this computer has enabled visually challenged to read and do whatever that a normal person can do, right? For example, there are people who are programmers, there are people who are designers, and so on and so forth, content writers, with the help of the computer technology. And for example, I am a teacher, and I'm also a visually impaired person. So what do? I use the computer, and I open the computer in the class. I connect it with the projector and display the PPT, because I want my students to have the text. Usually, the normal teachers, they use the blackboard. I can't do that. So what do? I use the PPT. And if I have to write something on the smart board, I write with the help of I open a blank page, and there I write, so that the students are not deprived of blackboard writing, right? And I prepare my lectures and come with the PPT, and that PPT I display there, and I play with the laptop, and accordingly I follow. That's the thing. Or be it when it comes to correcting the assignments, so students do submit online, I download it through with the help of the internet and correct it and send it back to them with the comments, right? So all these are, and I read a whole lot of books, I have written my own PhD, I write my articles, I do everything with the help of the computer. So computer is the best enabler. In fact, it has leveled the field of visually impaired. In fact, it made the visually impaired persons employable. So computer technology is indeed a blessing for visually impaired. So how do visually impaired persons uses the laptop? So it has a software, like there are several talking softwares, such as Job Access with Speech, that's called JAWS, JAWS, and then you have NVDA, then you have Kurzweil 1000, so on and so forth. So there are so many softwares which are, some of them you have to purchase, a bit costly though, and some are freeware softwares also that are available. And rest of the things, whatever you use, the same softwares, same apps are used in the laptop. As I have told you in the phone, in the same manner in the laptop too. For instance, so how it takes place. So it reads the screen. Whatever is there on the screen, it reads. For instance, let me scroll a little and show you.
Explained and also, short, it read blank.
Right?
An approach is developed around certain values and it may also contain visions about the future. World in which we might like to live. Blank, blank, page break, page 2, blank, realist approach for understanding IR. Blank. Realism is the dominant theory of international relations. Why? Because it provides the most.
So you can see that it is reading. Whatever is there on the screen, it is reading. So if I have to write anything, I just type it down. If I have to read anything, I open the document and read as you people read. So various apps I use. So how do I get the material, or visually impaired get the material? A scanner is connected with the laptop. Just you take a book, scan it, and there you have the e-copy and read with it. Or take the pictures with the phone, convert it into text and read it, right? Or download the ebooks or purchase the ebooks or articles and so on. So as you people do in the same manner, since visually impaired are print disabled, therefore they need e-text. Okay, so if e-text is provided, visually impaired can do what the normal persons can do when it comes to education. So these are some of the things that I wanted to explain to you, thinking that you have enriched yourself listening to my lecture, and I want you people to carry forward this message to those who are visually impaired or whose parents doesn't know anything about visually impairedness, so that they also get a helping hand and they also have a aspirations for their children, and children are included in the world. Unfortunately, information dissemination is very less. So I want all of you to become sensitive towards visually impaired persons and spread the message across. Thank you.